Hello everyone, it's me, Clayton. I just got back from seeing Ghost in the Shell SAC 2045, which is the new sequel to Standalone Complex from Netflix. So, with the coronavirus pandemic still going on, we're lucky that we managed to get this sequel at the time that they said we'd get it last year. And it is a sequel that has certainly had a lot of controversy given the use of CGI animation and the flood of negative reviews that have come following that. But in my opinion, the series, while not being as good as Standalone Complex, is still a decent sci-fi thriller if you're into that sort of thing. So let's get to the story, shall we? The story once again follows Major Motoko Kusanagi and her teammates of Section 9, including Bato, Togusa, Saito, Ishikawa, and a couple of new characters like Standard and Puri. Purin. Basically, they have to follow around these new age form of cyborgs, or not really cyborgs, but former humans with cybernetic abilities known as post-humans, as they cause various troubles throughout the world, and Section 9 therefore has to join back up together and deal with the various problems the post-humans cause throughout this first season. Now, the original Standalone Complex certainly had its disconnected, episodic structure as well as this one, but there is no secret that the stories that were told in that series were just more interesting, more varied, and generally more well-written than the ones here. This one hits an interesting note between episodic storytelling and serialization, considering that while all these episodes do happen to connect together, but some episodes do feel like just episodic adventures in comparison to in comparison to the whole main plot. And one thing that is immediately going to turn off a lot of people is the CGI, especially considering that CGI has proven to be rather popular among these Netflix original anime series, such as for Kengan Ashura and Beastars. I personally think that the CGI doesn't look terrible. It certainly has its problems, like lock sequences that don't always look natural, and some lip flaps that just don't match, and this is me watching with the original Japanese audio. But the action scenes do look really impressive, and there are some legitimately cool fight scenes done with the CGI that I feel would have been much more difficult if they went with a 2D approach. So, I don't think it looks terrible, but certainly not on the same level as, say, Land of the Lustrous. And I certainly don't think it looks like a bad PS2 cutscene. On top of that, I do think that the characters basically have the same amount of charm that they do have in the Standalone Complex TV series, but you're going to have watched that series to get the most of their depth. As a lot of that is helped because of the voice cast of the original Standalone Complex coming back to do this show. The original Japanese voice cast comes back, including a very enthusiastic Akio Otsuka, who is once again brilliant as Bato. Everyone sounds great. And even the new characters like Kenjiro Suda's Standard and Megami Han's Purin do put in solid performances, and I do think they fit in with the main cast, providing decent amounts of comic relief, as well as Standard provides the comic relief, and Purin does add a lot of it, not only her adorable presence, but also a funny little dynamic between her and Bato. Granted, the first season does end on a cliffhanger, so if they didn't announce a second season so soon before, the first season even came out, I would have been concerned. But we're getting a second season, so hopefully that ties up all the loose ends. So, I definitely think that this isn't exactly the Ghost in the Shell sequel that we would have wanted, but for fans of the series, there certainly are things to enjoy. The action scenes are cool, most of the voice acting is great, and the story, while not as interesting as the original series, is, in my opinion, still strong. So, I'll give Ghost in the Shell SAC 2045 a 7 out of 10. See you next time.